Hello, today is 1/12 of 26, and I am here with a video of what I eat in a day on my keto journey. If you're new here, my name is Christy. I changed my diet to a high protein, moderate fat, low carb diet in April of 2024. It is currently 10:30, and I'm preparing for my first meal of the day. We're going to go out to Chick-fil-A. So I will get a 12 count of grilled nuggets and a side salad. I won't use their dressing. I'm going to take my own dressing, which is this fat-free wishbone Italian. It's just my favorite, so that's why I do that. I also have in a bowl here some chopped up cucumber to add because it sounds delicious today. And I'm going to take some beef summer sausage. It just sounds really, really good this morning. So I'm going to take some of that with me too. I'm going to make my coffee, which I'll make with 1 cup of Fairlife 1% milk, a serving of whey isolate protein powder, a serving of collagen peptides, and a tablespoon of MCT oil. I am really liking the way this MCT oil is making me feel. Like I just like the calmness that is over me while I am taking this. So I think I might continue to take this. Like I'm really leaning that way. In my son, I do see a bit of calmness, but it's kind of hard to tell day in and day out because our lives vary so much. So, like yesterday, I would say that he was calm, but he had a lot of movement. Like we went skating and then he had hockey practice. Like he had a lot of movement, and that in and of itself can be calming. But he didn't have any oil yesterday. So I still need to kind of experiment with him, and then I'm gonna also have a Conscious Comforts donut, which is a gluten-free, sugar-free donut from a local bakery in my area. It is 3:15, and I need to leave in about 30 minutes. But I am making my last meal of the day. So first, I just have 4.5 ounces, cooked ounces of boneless, skinless chicken breast that we have left over. I'm going to get that used up. Yay, I love using up leftovers. And then I'm making macaroni and cheese for my family. So I'm making the whole box, which is 6 servings. I'm not exactly sure how much of this I'm going to eat. It does have, it's 40 carbs with 24 fiber. So the net carbs is 16 in a serving. And that's pretty high. Now, I'm not one where I'm really, really strict. I have no issues with like going over on my carbs sometimes, particularly if it's in whole foods. But like this isn't a whole food. But I do want to make sure that I'm also satisfied today. So we'll see how much I eat. I will probably be a bit over on my carbs, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. So I'm making macaroni and cheese using this. So this is Carbe Diem. It's got 110 calories with half a gram of fat and 8 grams of protein. And then, like I said, 40 carbs with 24 um, fiber. I am going to use probably like a half cup of this Good Culture cottage cheese. It melts beautifully. Like when I put it into like I almost make like a noodleless lasagna. When I do that, it melts so nicely. It's so creamy and smooth. I like it a lot. So I'm going to add this because it's going to add protein to the dish. I mean, not a ton. I'm only going to add a half cup, which has 110 calories with 4.5 fat, 3 carbs, which is just from like because it's dairy, and then 14 grams of protein. But that's going to be spread out over 6 servings, right? But it's a little bit, and it's better than having more of my cheese. So I'm using white American cheese. And the cheese is mostly fat and carbs. There's actually quite a few carbs in this cheese also. So like if I can, I want to try and like at least get some more protein in and a little less of the cheese. I have not tried this Carbe Diem before, so I will let you know what it tastes like. It's cooking right now, but I'll let you know what it tastes like in and of itself before I build my mac and cheese. I tried the pasta. It's a decent replacement pasta. Definitely firmer than, a traditional wheat pasta. But it's good. It'll be a good replacement. So I'm going to add about a tablespoon of butter. I find that butter is extremely important in macaroni and cheese. And I'm going to add about a half cup of my cottage cheese. and then some cheese. And I'm not exactly sure how much cheese I need. So I'm going to start with this much. It's 129 grams. And then I'll add more if I need to. I am weighing it out and I'm going to like enter it as a recipe in Chronometer. And then it'll like figure out like the um, serving like amounts, the macros in the serving amounts. Okay. So I'm going to get these stirred in and add a little bit of milk and let this get melted down. Here's my mac and cheese. So I did have to put in some more cheese, which caused me to need more butter and more milk, but that's okay. But the cottage cheese did just like melt in beautifully. I tasted it and it's delicious. After I had my chicken and macaroni and cheese, which the next time I make macaroni and cheese, I think I'm going to add more of the cottage cheese rather than adding more of the American cheese. I think the flavor will be better. Plus, it's like a better thing to use. Like it's got more protein and things like that. Um, I feel like that's gonna taste a little it was really, really good, but I think it'll be better to have more protein, and I think the flavor will be good where I don't have to like, I had to add some butter and some milk in order to balance out the flavor using the cheese, but I might not have to do that if I just use the cottage cheese. So that's what I'm gonna try next time, and it really did just melt in, like, we didn't have any chunks or anything in um our cottage and our macaroni and cheese. It melted in really beautifully. And then after I ate, I still needed about 5 grams of protein to meet my whole protein goal for today, which I'm usually not that nitpicky. I like to just kind of like make sure I'm getting there. But because I was deficient for a while and could really feel it when I was sick, I did want to make sure that I was getting to my protein goal for the day. So I grabbed a chef's cut beef stick. It's actually beef and pork. Took it with me when I took my daughter to work because I had to run out the door. So it has 8 grams of protein and 100 calories, no, 90 calories. 90 calories, 5 grams of fat, and then for the carbs, there are 2 carbs with 1 added sugar. These are my favorite kind. I really, really enjoy them, although I don't eat them a lot. We're trying to eat less processed meat, and so I don't eat them. I used to eat them a lot. I don't eat them quite as much anymore. I know I've had like some summer sausage and some bacon lately, and that really is just because of the holidays and kind of like some food that we were having around that time. But normally, like for my bacon, I will use pork belly that, and I'll kind of like make my own bacon, stuff like that. Okay, so I ended up with about 1,600 calories today. My protein is 174. My net carbs are 41, and my fat is 76. So my net carbs are a little high, but it's not terrible. I kind of was worried that it might be like 100. So so I'm really glad with where it's at. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow.